So I have a really funny story for you. One time I was wearing a pair of capri sweatpants to my stepbrother's baseball game, and it was like right in the beginning of spring, and I usually don't shave my legs during the winter, so I hadn't done my big shave of the year, and I was sitting on this blanket just reading a book, whatever, and some people are giving me some kind of weird looks. And then afterward, my stepmom pulled me aside and said that her friends had noticed that I had hairy legs. And I was like, well, what's the big deal? You know, they're just hair, it's just legs. Like, everyone has hairy legs, you know, unless you shave them. Everyone has hairy legs at some point. And she was really adamant that I have them shaved from now on. So it seems a little absurd, right? And since men can have hairy legs and no one says anything, what is really going on here? So obviously in America, basic hygiene says that women are supposed to have armpits with no hair as well as legs with no hair. And if you don't shave, you're just this disgusting, vile person. And it's like, you're not even a real woman then, because you're just trying to be a man. So obviously there's this double standard then with men and women's cleanliness, since men are allowed to have hairy legs and underarms, and in fact it is a huge sign of masculinity. Like, if you are a guy and you don't really have a lot of hair, it can often be seen as a sign of weakness. It's the whole dichotomy of women are supposed to be prim and proper and perfect and put together, and men, you know, can just hop out of bed and put on some deodorant and go, and they're perfectly acceptable. But women must spend hours getting themselves ready. So ladies, you gotta have a lot of hair on your head, but you can't have any hair anywhere else. I find that the notion of women not having any body hair is being more strictly enforced with the new onset of laser hair removal products and women's mustache removers and waxing kits and waxing salons and treatments to get rid of all of the hair completely. I just look at this stuff and I think, wow, we're really making women feel like shit for having normal, natural body hair that everyone has. And it's just this huge cultural expectation that if you're a woman, you're not going to show or have any body hair. And I guess I just feel like body hair is a completely normal thing, and we should be celebrating it versus shaming people for having it. So what's the history behind this whole shaving thing? Well, women actually did not really shave any part of their body until about the 1920s. This was the first time that women could actually show their legs in public. Wearing short skirts was very trendy, so then came the idea of removing the hair on your legs. So cosmetic companies jumped on this and started putting out all kinds of advertisements for razors and hair removal products for women. Then during the Great Depression and World War II, women went back to wearing really long dresses and skirts and being conservative, and the whole hair removal thing kind of died off. But then when we got to the 1950s and 60s, it picked up again. Women were starting to become autonomous and independent, so with this came the removal of all of their layers of clothing. This is when really shaving your legs and underarms really became the cultural norm and started really being enforced. Having hairy legs and underarms, etc., was now seen as kind of taboo. I just think it's so absurd and wrong for advertisers and our culture in general to take up this idea, because it's not even a choice if you want to shave your legs or underarms or not. It's a cultural demand that you do. And if you don't, you're gross and disgusting and piggish and a slob. The bullshit just keeps hitting the fan and hitting the fan and hitting the fan. So what exactly can we do about this problem? I think one of the best things is to not shave. Now, of course, this is a personal choice, and some people are perfectly comfortable shaving, which is fine, but demanding that other people do to meet your expectations is unfair to them. I think being more accepting of the hair on our bodies is really an important part of getting rid of this cultural idea. And I think experimenting with this on yourself is great too, you know. I only shave every few weeks and I'm totally comfortable with it. At first I always would get nervous about what people would say, or what they would think, or if they would notice, but I found that most people really don't even know. And even if they do, it's just like, so what? It's my body, it's my business, it's my decision. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week.